Hey everyone, my name is Akua. I'm 21 years old. I am a software engineer at a company called List, and I've been there for 6 months now.
Okay, so tell us about your educational background.
So from what I can remember at GCSEs, I think I picked history, maths, drama, and French, and then obviously the standard traditional English, maths, and science. And then for A levels, I actually did an interesting mix. I did psychology, history, and then I did hospitality and health and social care. I picked those subjects because I was always the kind of person that didn't really know what I wanted to do. Like I wanted to do so many different things. I wanted to set up my own business. I wanted to write a book. I wanted to travel the world. So I wasn't like a student that knew, okay, I was going to go do maths and take it to the World Cup. I just wanted to try out loads of different things. So hence my choices for A levels. But if you want to go into a career like software engineer, I would say research what the universities mainly look like.
Okay, cool. And what advice would you give to students who are trying to choose their subjects at the moment?
I would say research into what kind of career you want to go into and what normally they would recommend or they would require for that career. So, say you want to obviously be a doctor, you need to study medicine, and you find out by researching that. So definitely do your research. Just also if you have like a career advisor in college or before you go to college, ask them as well what are the standard traditional subjects that people normally pick when they want to pursue a certain career.
Okay, awesome. Now, I am of the understanding that you didn't go down the traditional university route. So tell us about that. How did that happen, and do you think it affected your route into tech?
Sure. So after college, I wasn't really in the best mental health state, so I decided to take a gap year. And in that gap year, I did a business admin apprenticeship, and I also did an internship at Santander. And during that business admin apprenticeship, that's when I actually got my first exposure into programming and tech. And so after my apprenticeship, I started to pursue that because I still wasn't really sure whether uni was the option for me, the right route for me. So then I started to attend coding workshops. I started to go to loads of events to see what opportunities are out there, how I can get in, and what I need to do to get in, basically.
And that being said, what steps did you take to further your knowledge in tech and in coding?
Sure. So I attended loads of networking events and events in general related to tech-related stuff. And from conversations I had, I would just express my interest in wanting to get into the tech industry. And the advice that I would normally get is that I needed to expose myself to the programming language, just the tech world in general, and just build a portfolio to really show my passion and interest. So I did just that. I found a coding workshop called Code Bar. I found out about programs like STEMETS, like Code First Girls. I reached out to people who were doing really well in the industry that did coding bootcamps or doing apprenticeships. So I was just trying to get as much information as I can whilst building my portfolio. And through that, I found out about a coding bootcamp called Makers, and they provide a 3 months intensive coding course.
Okay, and moving on to the present, tell us about what a regular day in your life looks like.
Cool. So my team normally gets in at 10 and we finish around 6 or 6:30. Each day we have a virtual stand-up in our Slack channel where we talk about what we've done the day before and what we plan to do in the present day, obviously. And then we have assigned tickets, which is tasks that we have to do, which are important to the company. So I would maybe be working on a ticket a week, and they would consist of me maybe working in front end or back end using programming language like React or Python. I would also, when I start, I would normally pair program with my colleague sitting next to me if I don't understand or I get stuck or I just want a bit more clarity on the task. So I would kind of work all the way up to 12:30, which is when we'll have lunch and we'll go out and have lunch obviously. And then we'll come back and maybe in the afternoons it kind of varies. There might be meetings that us as a team have or the company has. If I'm part of a committee, which I am, I'm part of 2 committees, the diversity committee and the tech culture committee. We might have meetings where we catch up to plan about what events we're going to do to help the company be more diverse and inclusive, or just to help spread a good tech culture all around. So yeah, in the afternoon that might consist of me having meetings. I also tend to have one-to-ones with my manager every week on Tuesdays. So then I would like talk about my progress, if there's anything I'm struggling on, if there's anything I'd like to learn more of. I'd also ask them advice, like, oh, how do you get past this problem? What have you done? It's just basically a safe space for me to grow and learn as much as I can from my line manager. So yeah, just to sum up, I'll get in at 10, finish at 6, work on my tickets, have meetings, pair program, have lunch, and obviously be part of the committees that I'm at.
One thing we know is that life is always full of surprises. So did you find anything surprised you or that you didn't expect when you came into your career?
Yeah, I'm even surprised I'm in the career because I had my own misconceptions. I thought that you had to be like super smart and like just be a genius, but really and truly it's about your passion and your desire. That's what I feel has like led me this far, and that's what I've noticed in the people that I meet in the tech community. They have a desire to problem solve, they have a desire to make the world a better place. And so yeah, there's one misconception that just needs to go, is you need to be a genius to be in the tech industry. You don't. You just need to have a passion, desire and a will to learn and be teachable basically. Another thing is that everybody knows what they're doing. They don't, and that's one thing I had to learn. I'm in a team where full of senior engineers who have been in the industry for more than 2 years, and often I'll find myself comparing myself, and I often see that other people do that as well. Don't do that. One thing they've learned to do is take themselves from not knowing how to solve the problem to figuring it out. Whether it's by researching, whether it's by asking questions, whether it's by pairing with somebody. That's the skill really. It's not about them knowing everything, it's about them knowing how to find out what they need to know to solve the problem. So yeah, you're not going to know everything, nobody does, but you'll learn how to figure things out.
Okay, and slightly more technically now, what does your job actually consist of?
There's so many aspects of it, but overall it consists of problem solving. So one thing that I'm working on right now is helping another department that my team works really close with to help them take a task that normally involves lots of manual labour into automating it so they can do it as quick and as possible. So to be more specific, they need a way to gather promotions from retailers as quick as possible for like huge events like Black Fridays and all the other huge sales that goes on, but as quick as possible. So instead of them having to manually enter their data, manually enter like everything themselves, I'm creating a way for them to feed a few information into a system, and then automate that and generate that and upload that into our system as soon as possible. So that involves me. So far, it involves me actually gathering the information from the department in terms of like what the problem is, what their pain points are, what they would like to do. So I've had a few meetings around that, and then it involved me having to like generate a whole new form for me to send out to retailers so that we can collect the right data in order to automate it. And then it involved me doing a bit of React and using a bit of Python backend stuff to feed the file that we get from retailers into our system so that they can literally just press a button and all the information from the retailers will be uploaded.
For those who are just starting out, what programming languages would you suggest? Where should they start?
So there's a few friendly beginners programming languages like Ruby that people can start with, but it's not necessarily what you start with, it's what you stick with that will help you. So I know, especially like me for instance, I was jumping from Ruby to JavaScript to Python because I wasn't sure. But one thing that my coding bootcamp experience taught me is that it's just to stick with one. Stick with one, get through and get familiar, get comfortable with it, because once you're familiar with that, you'll find that you're able to then learn another language quicker and easier because there's concepts and things that you can transfer from languages. So yeah, don't worry too much about what you start with, just stick with one and go as far with it as you can.
Alright, and finally, do you think that there have been situations where being one of the few women or one of the few black women in a situation has caused you a disadvantage or affected your career?
I wouldn't say it's caused me a disadvantage, it's that it gets really lonely when you don't see as much people like you around in the career that you're trying to climb up. And for that, I would suggest that number one, you keep the door open. The only way to change you not being lonely is to bring more people in that look like you. I mean, that's what I've been trying to do as well. I've been trying to encourage people to know that they can also be in an industry like me, regardless of what background they're coming from, and just also expose them to them the information and the opportunities and experiences that are out there that also helps me get into the industry. So stuff like that, just keeping the door open has what's helped me when I felt particularly lonely at times. Another thing, not necessarily a disadvantage, but more personal to me, is just confidence and believing that you are where you are supposed to be and that you have earned your place there. And I would say to tackle that, get mentors, reach out to people. There's people there who genuinely want to help you, who genuinely want to help you succeed, but they can't read your mind. So you have to be confident enough to, number one, reflect on how you feel, but don't entertain it too much. And number two, go out and ask for help. There are people who will help you, whether it's to do with your confidence, whether it's to do with your technical abilities, there are people there. So don't just stay quiet.
Amazing, and it was great to talk to you.